I've just received my new MacBook Pro. Cheers.
Guess that.
Oh, hi guys. I've now got my new MacBook Pro, and I think this is an appropriate time to talk about computer terminology. Ever walked into a computer shop and listened to the conversation going on there? They might be talking about USB connections or serial bus ports, but they're not talking about transport or way of transport. Okay? Then they might be speaking about USB 1, 2 or 3 or USB A, B and C. You might think, oh, you're back in school learning about ABCs and 1, 2, 3, but no, it's actually computer terminology. Then the conversation might move to bits and bytes or megabits and megabytes. But it's not about having a bite to eat at lunch. It's also computer terminology. Finally, there might be a conversation about lightning cables and Thunderbolt connections. It's not about the weather, it's also a computer terminology. So since I've got my new MacBook Pro and all this computer terminology might be difficult to understand when you're 50 and above, I'm going to go through this terminology one by one and enlighten you so that you're well versed with all this. So when you talk to younger kids and your younger generation, you know what they're talking about. Cheers. Okay, I need to tell you the difference between a bit and a byte. A bit, B-I-T, refers to the smallest amount of information stored in a computer, and actually it is used to reflect the speed of data transfer or the speed of internet transmission. Okay. 1 million bits is equal to 1 megabit, and 1000 megabits are equal to 1 gigabit. Okay. Now we go on to byte. A byte, B-Y-T-E, reflects the amount of data storage in a computer, and it is larger than a bit. 8 bits make 1 byte, and in the same way, in the same manner, 1 million bytes are equal to 1 megabyte, and 1000 megabytes are equal to 1 gigabyte. Okay, so get this clear. Bits refer to the rate of data transfer, and you reflect it in bits per second or megabits per second or gigabits per second. When you talk about memory in a computer, storage memory in a computer or in a disk, this refers to bytes, and that comes in the form of bytes or megabytes or gigabytes. Cheers. Okay, let me tell you about Thunderbolt and lightning. It's nothing to do with the sky and rain and thunder and lightning. It's talking about computers nowadays. If you're reached 50, I know you feel like you're lagging in all this, but you've got to know about this. Okay? When you talk about lightning, you're talking about lightning cables, which actually are the cables which actually charge your current iPhones and your iPads. And also it can help to transfer data. That's lightning cables. When you talk about Thunderbolt, it's actually a new technology. It's actually the port. And you've got Thunderbolt 1, which is now obsolete, and you've got Thunderbolt 2 ports and Thunderbolt 3 ports. Now, Thunderbolt 2 ports are what has been found in the old MacBooks, and these ports are used for actually transferring data. Also, it helps to transfer some power to charge certain items, but only in small amount, 5 watts. And also, it can help to transfer images and data. When you talk about Thunderbolt 3, actually it's an upgrade. It can transfer up to 40 gigabits per second. Okay, and it can also transfer power of up to 100 watts. It can help to charge your devices which are connected to it. It can also help to transfer videos in the form of 4K technology. So that's the latest port now, technology, Thunderbolt 3. And the other advantage of Thunderbolt 3 is that it uses the USB-C connector. Now, getting confused? Well, let me enlighten you. When you talk about USB, is actually called Universal Serial Bus. It's actually it is an interface to help you connect devices from your laptop to other devices. Okay, and you got the nomenclature comes in alphabetical form and numerical form. Don't worry. Okay, when you talk about USB A, B, and C, it's actually talking about the type of the port, the shape of the port. When you talk about USB in the numeral form, it's actually the speed of data transfer. So one is the shape of the port, the other one is speed of data transfer. Let's go one by one into this. Okay, for USB connection types, USB type A found on virtually any PC and laptop, very ubiquitous. But the problem is it's large, it is very big, so in smaller devices you can't seem to get that port fitting into the device. Also, it is not doesn't have a reversible orientation. USB type B, which are found in printers and hard drives, also coming out of favor because they are smaller devices now. USB type B has also been upgraded to USB mini B and USB micro B. Mini B is found in digital cameras and older cell phones. USB micro B found in older Android phones and external hard drives. And the latest one is USB type C, which has a reversible orientation. Doesn't matter how you plug it in. Faster data transfer, more power to delivery to charge your devices. Okay. Also, you can transfer audio and video data. So, I'm going to talk to you about the speed of transfer of USB ports. And you've got different standards. You start with USB 1.1, which is also known as Basic Speed USB, introduced in 1995, and the speed of transfer is only 12 megabits per second. Okay, and the connected types are USB A and USB B, and maximum power delivers is 2.5 watts. Then we've got USB 2.0, which is also known as High Speed USB, introduced in the year 2000, and if the speed of maximum data transfer or speed of 480 megabits per second. Then you've got USB 3.1, which transfers data up to 5 gigabits per second. USB 3.2 up to 10 gigabits per second. And then you've got USB 3.2 generation 2, which transfers data up to 20 gigabits per second. Okay, and in the near future we'll have USB 4. We're talking about the speed of transfer, which can transfer data up to 40 gigabits per second, also using the USB-C port. So I hope you enjoyed that episode of Live at 50. I know it's a bit confusing, but maybe you can go through the video again slowly, pause where it's getting complicated to refresh your memory, and then you can be educated, and so you can talk to your kids and younger people when you talk about USB A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, Lightning, Thunderbolt, bits and bytes. You are up to us with what you're talking about. Cheers from this episode of Live at 50.